Hey, what's up, guys? This is gonna be my first video of how to do a medium to high taper fade on yourself. So this is gonna be the before. Wait till the end so you can see the after. So we start off with the trimmer, which is my Gold FX. Start with the first bald guideline, okay? That's what we're gonna do first. I start off with the right side because, it doesn't matter what side you start on. That's gonna be the first line that we're gonna make. It's gonna be the baseline. Take the hairs off. We want it to look bald. It's gonna be a bald fade. Now we go with the shaver. Okay, that's gonna be the Uno shaver from Gamma Plus, and we're trying to make it look as bald as we can. You don't have to do this, it's completely optional, but in case you want it to look better, more bald, more clean, then you should never skip the shaver part. And we're gonna start off with the first guideline. It's gonna be the 0, liver open for about half an inch. We go up about half an inch, okay? It's gonna be the first guideline. And I use the instincts. Of course, we do it on the other side as well, because we're trying to make it look as symmetrical as we can. It's not gonna be perfect, obviously, but you just gotta try to make it look as symmetrical as we can. So you can see, we try to make it as symmetrical as I could. So now I go with the 1.5 guard, okay? Because I felt like it had like too much bulk on the sides, even though I just got a low fade a few days ago. Depending on your hair type, this must be a yes. If you're trying to make it look cleaner, So now we go with the half guard. And I'll try to blend in the half guard into the 1.5, okay? Just got a low fade a few days ago, like last week, so it's still gonna, you can still see the fade, but I'll wait a few days so I can do another video of how to do another taper once my hair is like grown. So I go with number 1 now, because sometimes the hair is like You still gotta go back and do like some detail work so it can look better. It's not always gonna look the best. But that's when you go back and do the detail work, okay? That's all that matters, because remember, you're doing this fade on yourself. If you got time, then I say you start doing your own fades. That way you can save up some money, you know, because sometimes barbers be charging like $45 up to like $100. So if you got the time and you got the courage to do fades on yourself, you can just practice, you know, and see what it leads to. It's gonna take some time, you know. And like I said, this is when I go back and do the detail work. You just gotta pay attention to those little details, you know. Alright, so here we are with the trimmer again. We're about to do the back side. Remember, we're doing the baseline. We really want to make sure that we take every single hair down. Don't forget to make it bald. Remember, we're using the Uno shaver. So here we are with the instincts. We're about to do the first guideline with the 0. Lever all the way open. About half an inch up. Everyone has their own way of doing fades, so this is the way I do it, you know. Some people like to fade down. I like to fade up. And that's the 1.5 again. Lever all the way open, okay? That's number one again. And it will be lever all the way open, okay? Don't forget. Going up about half an inch. And we're trying to fade into the 1.5 guard with that number one. Now we're using the half guard, okay? .5. And I'm just trying to blend into that number one. This is probably going to take some time for most people because it did for me at the beginning, but then you're going to get used to it because it takes a lot of like muscle memory to do the backside. You can buy the 360 mirrors or you can do it like me because I only use two. And it's gonna take some time, you know. It takes a lot of patience too. And I do be going back and forth with the guards, you know, because sometimes you miss a spot or a spot is like too dark or too light, so you gotta go back and fix it. And like I said, that's the detail work we're trying to do. One tip I want to say is the brighter the light, the better it is for you because you can see all the details. Not as bright because there's a point where like you can't even see it's like too bright and you can't even tell the difference. So I want to say like if you can buy like a ring light, like a dimmer, you know, so you can like dim it down or up, so that way it's the best settings for your eyesight. Here I am using the zero guard. No guard, okay, no guard. And we're trying to blend into the half guard, okay? Or number one. Like I said, it takes a lot of patience because we're trying to make it look as best as we can. So if you have time, if you're a day off, then go ahead and do it. Take your time. If it takes an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours, but practice makes perfect. And that's my Babyliss, just regular silver effects. Remember, the angles are important. You gotta hit that spot, then you gotta, find the angle, the right angle. Here I am with the trimmer, gold effects. And we're gonna try to make it look sharp. You don't have to dig in, because then it's gonna look bad whenever it grows back. They call it green, it's gonna look green. And I wanna say do the lightest tap possible. So you're making sure that you're not going like too deep. Because sometimes, it's gonna irritate your skin. At least for me, that's what it does, because my trimmers are like too sharp. And like I said, even if it looks awkward, if you gotta find the right angle, then you must. You just gotta be careful. Like I said, patience is the key. Once you're finished with the back and both of your sides, then you're gonna hit it with the razor blade if you can. First you gotta practice, because this takes a lot of skill. You don't want to have cuts on all on your face, you know. Don't dig in too deep, you know. That's a tip I want to say because sometimes you do and you just cut yourself. And we're done. Like I said, you know, it's gonna take a lot of time. It took me about 55 minutes. You know, it takes a lot of time. But when I started, it took me like 3 hours. So this is how it came out. That's the end result.